Good morning, Year 10. Miss Sullivan here. I hope that you are all doing well, and I also hope that you had a really restful and lovely half term. So, this week we are going into week 8 of home learning. This is now the final stretch of the school year, so we've got around 7 weeks left until the summer holidays, hopefully. So, at the moment we don't know if you're going to be back in school, particularly in doing art, but we're going to continue with this home learning process, which I believe is working fairly well for most of you. So this week, we are going to be continuing with our development of our natural forms project. You're going to continue to develop your bleach and ink drawing ideas. So I'm going to talk through with you in this video some good examples again from last week. I'm going to talk through some examples I've done to show you how I've linked and made connections between my natural forms initial ideas, and I'm also going to share with you some fantastic YouTube videos of sketchbooks from other students from across the UK and how they achieved their top grades in art. And I think these are really, really lovely to share with you because they are first-hand accounts of students that have been through this course, that have worked hard to complete this course, and the things that you need to do to ensure that you do that. And I have included ones that relate specifically to the topic of natural forms. So it should be really, really helpful and useful in guiding you and showing you that, there is a lot of work that needs to be put in. And in a way, you're in a prime position at home because you've got a little bit more freedom to spend a bit longer on your art in doing that. And don't forget, your GCSE art, everything you do in year 10 and year 11 contributes to that overall grade, including the final exam that you will have in year 11. So everything you do counts, everything is useful. So first of all, I'm going to share with you a stunning piece of work that was completed by someone in the class last week. Last week's task asked you to continue and complete some more development ideas using the bleach and ink method. And this student has combined bleach, as you can see here, with some colours, and you can see the bleach has kind of blended and bled into the colours, and I think this creates a really, really lovely organic natural forms like pattern, because if you think about natural forms items, especially things like flowers and leaves, they develop, they grow naturally, and they never look perfect. If you look at a leaf or a flower that has been tarnished by the weather or is maybe dying from overheating, it's wilting, the bleach and ink method really helps capture this realistic idea of that process, and it helps it look it brings it to life, it helps it look more realistic. So these are some great development ideas, and they've obviously clearly been labelled, so this is what I'm expecting. I think there could be a little bit more detail in them, some more high quality details here, maybe brought out with a darker green, as you can see the green there, or maybe just with a black fine liner, but we want them to be realistic, we want them to stand out. And that is just really going in and getting those quality details. If you've been drawing from observation, from looking at an item in front of you, maybe, and you don't have it anymore, maybe you could go onto Google and just find some really high quality images. But it is always useful to draw from the things in front of you. That is how you get the best eye for detail. So that was a fantastic outcome. The next thing that I would like to do is talk through with you some of these fantastic videos. There was also some further ones here. A fantastic visual page created with experiments. But I want to talk through these videos. So I've got 2 or 3 even, I think I've put 3 videos that I want to share with you, and I really want you to watch these so you can go on the PowerPoint after you've watched my video and really have a close look. But please spend some time watching them. These are amazing GCSE sketchbook examples of students that all achieve the top grade. And even if you're working at a lower grade and you're not working at the very top at the moment, it is very simple to turn it around. Luckily in year 10 you've still got a lot of time to do that, and I think every one of you is capable of being able to turn that around. It is all just about focus, getting into your topic, getting into your theme, finding the thing that you like within that theme, finding your niche, finding what you enjoy, and really beginning to just go on a roll with it and develop your ideas. So please watch these videos. They're quite different. The second video here is slightly different course, but the quality and the outcomes are similar to what I expect of you. Again, this one is very much a beautifully presented sketchbook page, and when you see it, you'll see the amount of effort and time that has gone into creating those outcomes. But it is all about the quality of the drawings. Presentation is important, and it does come under the objectives AO1 to AO4. However, it isn't just about a pretty page, it's about detail and high quality drawings that show your ideas going from one idea to another idea. Just like this kind of thing here, they've really tested out mark making, tested out colours, patterns and textures. That is what I mean by thorough development, and that is what I expect of you today. Okay, finally in this video, before you get on with today's tasks, I wanted to show you, I've obviously been completing some of the project with you because I wanted to show you how each process works. Usually I just do quick examples, but I've started to develop them in a little bit more detail. Now, I've not spent as much time that you will spend because I've got to plan lessons for year 7, 8, 9 and 10 and mark all of your work and feedback to you. But I've done some quick examples because I thought it was more helpful to show you how they've developed from each video. And I've got some time at home to do that. So, you started off doing some observational drawings on natural forms. I got you to draw some fruit and veg items, and you used different natural inks that you made using tea and coffee and I think soy sauce, and you also did some collage with that as well. I then got you to do some biro drawings. I haven't got any of those here. And then I got you to look further at natural forms, abstract art and textures, and taking it away from just making something look realistic. So then we looked at the bleach and ink method, and I did show you my initial examples, which are here, and I've just worked back into them. So today what I've been doing is I've been trying to combine and develop my ideas by further testing and development. You can see here I've combined the bleach and ink method. Also, I've used fine liner, and I've combined that with the tea and coffee method that you looked at. Now, this is not complete. Nothing here is complete. This is all a work in progress. And I've already spent around an hour just working back into some of these. So as you can see, it does take a number of hours to create these high quality outcomes. And this is why this week I really want you to spend another week focusing on the development of your work. Each and every one of you will have something that looks very different to this in terms of what the actual content combines. This is how my ideas have developed. Yours will be very different, but you will have this quantity, I hope, of developed ideas. You will have a series of pages of developments of colour, of texture, of technique, and that is you playing around. AO1 to AO3 really focuses on this idea of developing and using different mediums. If you look closely at this piece, this was a piece that I did too dark originally because I added too much ink to it. However, I've managed to save it by working into it with oil pastels to bring it to life. It's not quite finished yet and it needs some more detail, but I've used oil pastels to start to create this textured effect and bring it to life. So that is what I'm looking for in your work, is thinking about how you can overcome barriers and issues to develop ideas further. I've thought about details, I've created these wispy effects. And if you look closely at my initial drawings, you can actually see that I've taken the shape of this organic form, of the shape of the lemons and limes that I drew, and I've begun to use that shape and that method, that 3D effect within my drawings here. I've used the round shape and I've deconstructed it. I've deconstructed all of the segments. And I've began to use it in some of my other work, so it shows the link between my ideas. Again, I've thought about the insides of the segments and I've refined them by looking at just the segments really closely to create some abstract patterns and designs. I've thought about mark making in this piece. I've also used a gold pen with oil pastels again to bring something to life that I initially did too dark. and that creates almost like a really, really natural, almost like detailed, zoomed in particles of a fruit or veg item. But the whole purpose of this is natural forms is the initial starter. But to be a good artist, the idea is you take an initial focal point and then you develop it. You look at it in detail and you make it your own. I've since carried out some more work using the tea staining method, and it really, really helps bring this natural colour, this natural dye to life within this piece. Again, with some of the others. So this is the level of experimenting and developing that I should be starting to see. Obviously, you might have a lot of this in your book, you might have some of it on paper, but this is the quality and detail that I would like to begin to see. As you can see, this is the most refined piece so far, along with this one. So you might select a few to really home in and refine. It should be one idea to the next idea. Eventually, in the next couple of weeks, you are going to start to create a final piece, a final outcome, and that will then be the last piece that you work on up until the summer, and then I'll be giving you something to do over the summer. So we should be well underway with development now. On Thursday, I will be giving you another almost tutorial on a new medium, and that will be on how to add sewing and use fabric in your work. And everything is recommended to try, obviously providing you've got the materials at home. So I would really like you, after this lesson, to think about if you've got some sewing materials, a hand needle and thread, and some old fabric or an old t-shirt scraps that you could use to work with to develop your project, and then I'll be doing a tutorial on this. So just to clarify, today you are going to be carrying out further developments on the bleach and ink method. So those further developments should look something like this. You should be working into or reworking some pieces, but showing clear development. Every single piece isn't a complete finished piece. Obviously, what I would do now is stick these in and start analysing them, like the fantastic piece that I showed you at the beginning here. So you're continuing with your developments, experimenting with different materials. It might be gold pens, it might be white pens, you could try Tipp-Ex, you could try watercolour, pastels. I want to see more of the bleach and ink method. I want to see you using the tea staining method, biro. It is entirely up to you. There is no guidance on, how much you should be producing, but in a couple of hours, you could have done 3 or 4 pieces like this. I'm not seeing enough work from some people. They're doing the bare minimum, and what they're doing isn't to the quality of GCSE. So you need to really put some time in this week. I want to see several more pieces from each of you that have experimental qualities, that developed, and some detailed pieces like this starting to form to help produce a final idea. Hopefully that is clear on what I expect of you today. I would like to see a progress photo today on Monday. It doesn't need to be finished, but I'd just like to see what you're working on. So again, I can give you feedback. It does not need to be finished, but I do 100% need to see a photo uploaded by 4 p.m. on Monday, which is today. There will be another tutorial kind of workshop on Thursday, so you must tune in for that separately as well. And then at the end of Thursday's lesson, I will be asking for another upload. So there should be 2 pieces uploaded this week. Well, 2 sets of work uploaded. It might be that you do several small drawings on different pieces of paper, on one piece of paper in your book. But I just want to see more developing, more experimenting with colour, texture, tone, shape, and your further ideas from the bleach, ink, and tea staining methods. Hopefully that is clear for you. I will check in with you all on Thursday. Take care, have a great week. Any questions as normal, please just send me a message and I will reply as quick as I can. Take care. Bye, your turn.